I'm not Ben and I'm not Jerry, but they don't care about your gains, they don't care about your health, and I do. What's going on, guys? I'm Rahul, and today I'm going to show you how to make a high protein, low calorie, anabolic version of Cherry Garcia. So what is Cherry Garcia? It's a cherry ice cream with fudge flakes and cherries, and we're going to make a version of that that's going to be a lot healthier for you, and it's going to taste really delicious and be a lot more filling and a lot more voluminous. So this is going to be an anabolic ice cream version of Cherry Garcia. So the Iron Musket, he made a video just like this where he made an anabolic version of Cherry Garcia, and his recipe is a lot different than this. My recipe is lower in calories, and it's gonna have a few different techniques and a few different ingredients, but his recipe is awesome, so definitely go check it out. I will have his video linked in the description, as well as this entire recipe in the description for you guys below. So if you didn't know, there are over 1,000 calories in a pint of Cherry Garcia. That's crazy to me because a pint is so tiny and I could easily crush a whole pint. But this whole thing is gonna be way bigger, and it's only gonna be 300 calories for the entire recipe. So it's gonna be a fraction of Cherry Garcia while being a lot bigger in volume, and it's gonna fill you up a lot more than that tiny little pint would ever. But if you're ready to get all the ingredients and make this anabolic ice cream, let's jump right into it and go make some anabolic Cherry Garcia Ben & Jerry's ice cream. So let's get into the ingredients that we're gonna need for today's recipe. First things first, we're gonna need a protein powder. So this is gonna be high in protein, and I'm gonna be using a casein protein, a whey protein, a casein protein, a whey casein blend. Any protein works great. So a neutral flavored, vanilla flavored protein powder is gonna be our first ingredient, and we're gonna need 40 grams of this protein powder. Next, we're gonna need some coconut flour. We're gonna need 5 grams of this. So if you look at the ingredients for Cherry Garcia, you'll see that they have coconut oil in the ice cream. Coconut oil is really high in fat, and we're gonna mimic that flavor, that subtle flavor of coconut, by using coconut flour. And what this is gonna do is it's gonna make the ice cream taste more desserty. It's gonna make it taste more like ice cream, and it is super tasty. You're not gonna really taste the strong coconut flavor, but it's gonna represent the same thing that the coconut oil is doing while being much lower in fat, and you'll get some protein and fiber from this as well. So have some coconut flour on hand. We're also gonna need some xanthan gum. So xanthan gum is gonna really thicken this whole thing and make it more like an ice cream creamy consistency. It's gonna add a lot of volume to this recipe as well. So we're gonna use 3 grams of xanthan gum. We're also gonna need 8 grams of pudding mix. And so these come in a bunch of different flavors. There's banana and cream flavor, there is cheesecake flavor, there is French vanilla. Today we're gonna use a French vanilla flavor, and we're gonna need 8 grams of this as well. And we're gonna also need a pinch of salt. And what salt's gonna do is it's not gonna make this recipe taste salty. We're just gonna need a really tiny amount, just a pinch, and it's gonna bring out all the flavors of everything else. So it's gonna bring out the flavor of the vanilla and the pudding. It's gonna bring out the flavor of the cherry. So add a pinch of salt. Don't be scared of salt, guys. And the last dry ingredient we're gonna need is sweetener. We're gonna need 8 grams of sweetener. So I'm gonna use 4 packets of Splenda, but you can use any sweetener you want. If you like stevia, use stevia, whatever powdered sweetener you want, or even liquid sweetener, feel free to use that. And now to get into our wet ingredients, we're gonna need 90 grams of Greek yogurt. So this is non-fat Greek yogurt. It's gonna add more protein, make it more creamy, make it more delicious. Add some Greek yogurt. We're also gonna need 80 grams of cashew milk. And if you have almond milk, that works fine as well. If you don't have either one, you can use regular milk. You can use water as well. Might make it a bit less flavorful, but these things are just nuts blended with water anyway, so it's fine if you use water. We're gonna start off with 80 grams. If your ice cream isn't blending, you can add a little more throughout the process, but start with as little liquid as you can first, because that's gonna give it a thicker ice cream-like consistency. So 80 grams of this. We're also gonna add a teaspoon of vanilla extract in there. And for that ice cream, Cherry Garcia is a cherry flavored ice cream. So we're gonna add in some of this. So this stuff is Mio, it's a water enhancer. The flavor I have here is tropical cherry. If you can find any cherry flavor, that's gonna be perfect for this recipe, because we're gonna add a squeeze of this into our ice cream base, and it is gonna make the ice cream cherry flavored, which is what we want, since we're trying to mimic Ben & Jerry's. And then lastly, guys, we're also gonna need this stuff. So this is cherry pie filling. So I tried this recipe using frozen cherries, and I also tried it using this cherry pie filling, and it just tastes better with this, I think so at least. So this stuff is sugar-free cherry pie filling, so it is low calorie. You can get this at Walmart, guys. Try to find it. Try to find any cherry pie filling that is sugar-free. And so this is only 35 calories for a third of a cup, and we're gonna use 100 grams of this. Last up, guys, there's chocolate and cherry Garcia. If you want, you can add mini chocolate chips or chocolate chunks to this, but what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna top this off with some sugar-free chocolate syrup. It's gonna give us that same chocolatey taste that cherry Garcia has. It's gonna be a lot less calories. That's gonna be all the ingredients that you're gonna need for this recipe. So let's jump right in, and the next thing you wanna grab is, grab your Vitamix and let's get blending. Just kidding, guys, do not grab your Vitamix. Grab your food processor, or if you have a Ninja, that works great as well. A food processor or a Ninja, it's gonna be perfect for this recipe. I don't have a Ninja blender, but I have a food processor. I know the Ninja blender is very popular and a lot of people use it to make anabolic protein ice creams, but a food processor works really, really great, guys. So if you have a food processor, use it. It's gonna work perfectly. So first thing, grab your food scale, and we're gonna wanna use 100 grams of this cherry pie filling. So let's crack this open. Look at that color. Does that look edible? I don't know. Just kidding, guys. It's gonna be delicious. So let's take out 100 grams. I got all the dry ingredients mixed up in here. So that's gonna be 40 grams of protein powder, 5 grams of coconut flour, 3 grams or a teaspoon of xanthan gum, a little pinch of salt, 8 grams of the pudding mix, and then also 8 grams of sweetener, which is 4 packets of Splenda. So all the dry ingredients are right in here, and now we're gonna add all our wet ingredients to this batter. So I'm just gonna mix that up a little bit. That smells so good with the pudding mix. Super vanilla-y. So what we're gonna need for the wet ingredients, we're gonna toss in 90 grams of Greek yogurt into this first. So we got 90 grams of Greek yogurt in here. Then we'll toss in a teaspoon of vanilla extract, or a capful. Then add 80 grams of cashew milk. We're gonna add 20 grams of the cherry filling, but try to add 20 grams of that syrup that's in here, because we're gonna use the cherries on top and as a mix-in. So we don't wanna blend all the cherries, we want some cherry chunks, just like cherry Garcia has. But since we want the actual base of the ice cream to be cherry flavored, we're gonna toss in 20 grams of this syrup. So basically that right there, that syrup, perfect. And then last thing, take your cherry water enhancer and put a squirt of that in there. There we go. So there's a strong cherry smell in this kitchen. And now that we got everything in our food processor, let's add in the ice. So we're gonna add in 350 grams of ice. There we go, 360, but close enough. So 350 grams of ice, and let's toss this thing in the food processor and blend all of this up. So you're gonna wanna just open this up in the middle and just scrape down the sides. So take a spoon, scrape it all down so nothing gets left behind. And keep blending. So So when it's done blending, it's gonna look like this. A very light pink color, just like Ben & Jerry's. Look at that consistency. That is just like ice cream. If you want it thicker than this, add less liquid, but I love this consistency. This is perfect for me. Take out that little middle stick, stick your finger right in there, grab that thing out of there. This is huge. This thing, it's the size of my head. Look at that, guys. It is looking so good. Normally I would eat it right out of this, but I'm gonna plate this up for you guys. Guys, this thing is huge. You saw this. We got the chocolate syrup on top. We got the cherries. I can't wait to dig in. Look at that. Let's get right into the taste test. Oh my God, it's so good. It is so good, guys. I thought I was recording, but I wasn't. Tried to do a little spoon up. You can see it there. Messed up, but look at that. This is so good, guys. Is it as good as Cherry Garcia, the Ben & Jerry's version? No, it's not. And after eating this, am I gonna wanna go eat a pint of Ben & Jerry's Cherry Garcia ice cream? No, not at all. This is gonna crush my cravings for Cherry Garcia, and I don't even like cherries. I don't even like fresh cherries. There's so many other fruits that I like before cherries, but Cherry Garcia, I don't know, it just hits different. And this thing is so good. So for this entire bowl, this is huge. So Cherry Garcia, that pint is 2 cups of ice cream. It's 1,010 calories in just 2 cups. This whole thing, there's 300 calories in this entire serving. There's 42 grams of protein, 28 grams of carbs, and only 2 grams of fat. So this thing is a beast. 42 grams of protein in this whole thing. That's so much, and only 300 calories. This thing is super filling. And the volume and how filling this is, and how sweet and delicious it is, it's super close to Cherry Garcia. It's got the main flavors. It's got the chocolate, it's got the cherries, it's got the fresh chunks of cherries, as well as the cherry ice cream base. And it is super delicious. So the Iron Musket, I want you to try this out. I know yours is amazing. Your recipe is super good, but this is 300 calories. So if you have more calories to play with, throw some chocolate chips in here, throw some extra toppings, and make it that much more delicious. But this for 300 calories, when you want a low calorie dessert, that is gonna remind you of your favorite Ben & Jerry's ice cream, this is gonna hit the spot perfectly. So guys, try this out. Iron Musket, I want you to try this out. I want you to tell me what you think. I know yours is super, super delicious, but this is a different twist on it. I want you to try this recipe out and see how you like it, but I know what it's like being on a low-calorie diet and trying to cut weight. And this is perfect because it's gonna help in weight loss. It's gonna fill you up. It's gonna be super low in calories, super high in protein, very, very anabolic. So try this out. Let me know what you think. Let me know if it hits the spot just like Cherry Garcia always does. And thank you for watching this video. Like and subscribe if you enjoy this recipe, and I will see you all in the next video.